not gonna chase us down, you know? Like, he gives us a free will for a reason. A free will to worship him, a free will to not. YouTube world, I am back. Thank you for coming back to my page. If this is your first time, please do not forget to subscribe and press that bell notification. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but before I didn't have like a real YouTuber name. I had my name, you know, I was basic, but now I got a name. So now my videos be like, my intro would be like, hey y'all, what's up, it's your girl BLoc'd, so keep it locked at my channel. I might have just done something, bro. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to my returning subscribers. You guys have made my channel what it is today. This video is going to be about how to maintain a relationship with God, or even how to gain a relationship with God while you're in college. And I will be giving my personal story. I'm only a sophomore, so I can only give you what I got. But I will be giving my personal story, how I got plugged into campus ministry. So let's go. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I go to East Carolina University, which is the party school. Every time I tell someone, oh yeah, I go to ECU, they be like, oh, you go to the party school? I be like, no, I go to an institution of higher learning. Thank you very much. But yes, it does have a reputation of party school though. But there are some good things in this, and I will tell you in this video. So when I was set on which college to go to, I was not looking for a church at all. Like, I was not looking for a church, because I was like, oh, I can go to church with my boyfriend every weekend because he lives close by now. So like, I can go to his church. Like, his dad's a pastor. Like, they know me and they love me. I can go with them, you know. And then my sister, she was like, you can't go with them every weekend. Like, you know that, right? I'm like, you're right. So I still wasn't looking for a church. I was like, whatever happens, happens. I don't know, just fall in my lap, something. But so I was on this Facebook group. They had a Facebook for all the freshmen, you know, ECU class of 2021. This girl, she posted in the chat. She was like, I mean, in the group, and she was like, I have this great church, GCF church. They come and pick up with the vans on Sunday. We get some fun loving people. We love the word of God. Everyone's so great. It's a great community, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, let me just see what this is about. So I messaged her. I was like, hey, I saw your post in the group. Can you tell me more about this? She was like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. She didn't tell me anything about the campus ministry so much, but she was telling me about the church. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't know anybody, but I guess I'll go. She was like, I'll sit with you. Come on. Like, come. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess if you want to sit with a total stranger at church, I mean, be my guest. I'm cool with it. So but first I did my research. I did a whole bunch of research. When she told me about it, I was like, I'm going to Google gcfchurch.com or GCF church, blah blah blah. And then I said, let me look at one of these sermons. Pew! I was like, okay, it looked like New Hope, kinda. It's like a smaller version of New Hope. They singing good, okay. They praising the Lord, okay, teaching a good word. Because when I look for a church, I mean, I've never had to look for a church by myself before though. So I was like, I'm gonna try to find somebody who got the word of God, the unadulterated word of God. I was like, I don't want to water down stuff. Like, people be trying to sugarcoat everything. Like, just tell me the real stuff. Preach against what the Bible preaches against. Love what God love, hate what God hate. Like, no in between. There's no gray area when it comes to the Lord, okay? My first Sunday rolls around, and I get up, I get ready for church, and I go out to the bus stop where the van comes to pick us up at 9:40 a.m. in the morning. Whoa. a.m. in the morning, Brittany. At 9:40, and I sat out there for a couple of minutes. I'm like, is this van coming? I was like, okay, I don't know. Maybe it's the first weekend trying to get people adjusted. I don't know. So I call an Uber, and she comes pick me up. She's like, oh, you heading to church today? I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes. She was like, wow, my daughter goes to UNC Chapel Hill. Like, I'm trying to get her to go to church like this. Like, you dedicated, you determined. I was like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it just never dawned on me to not go to church. I don't know. I was like, okay. But, I was like, okay. So I get to the church and there's no sign of the girl anywhere. Like, I'm trying to text her and I'm like, okay. So I go sit in the back. I'm by myself. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit right here. So then the pastor's like, ECU students, welcome back. And then I see a whole section. They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh. So I was one of those churches. It's like a college church. I call it college churches because it's like, it's a lot of college students there. It's not like a church with old people and it's the congregation dying down and nobody reproducing nothing and it's just like blah. So I was like, okay, I can get with that. I can get with it. Okay. So I see that they're really involved in it and everything, and so he's preaching. I'm like, oh. So I was like, okay, it seems like a church just like that. So when he was preaching, I even listened to a sermon online before I went, because I was like, I ain't going to know, you know. So I was like, okay. So after church, I'm like wandering around because I don't know what I'm doing. So this lady, Kaylin, she approaches me and she's like, hey, is this your first time? I was like, yes. I was like, oh, this girl, she invited me and I don't see her nowhere, but she's like, oh, you mean her? Yeah, she's out of town. I was like, okay. So she took me up to meet the campus pastor and everything, and I was like, hi, I'm Brittany. I was like, I will never see these people again in my life, so like, what does it even matter? So she took me over to meet another lady, and she was like, hey, this is Brittany. She was, oh, no, before she said, how did you get to church? I was like, oh, I took an Uber. She was like, you took an Uber to church? I was like, yeah. Yes. And she was like, wow, well, if you can't find anybody, I will take you home. Like, I will literally take you home today. And I was like, okay. She was like, if I can't find anybody, I'll take you home. You don't need to be kidding. And I was like, okay. So she took me over to the other lady. She was like, hey, your first time. Hey, yeah. She took me in the room, signed up for this stuff. I was like, I don't know what this is I'm signing up for, but it's at church. It's got to be with Christian people, so I'm going to sign up because I need some community, I need some people, I need some friends. I don't know nobody here, so I was like, I'm going to just go ahead on and sign up for this. So I signed up, and Kaylin, she also got my number, my name, blah, blah, blah. And then she took me to this girl, Amanda, and she was like, she's going to take you home today. She's like, hi, I'm Amanda. I was like, hey, I'm Brittany. She's like, okay, I'm going to drive you home, blah, blah, blah. And throughout the week, Kaylin was like, hey, do you want to meet up one of these days so we can have lunch? I was like, what? She remembers me? What? I only saw her for like 30 seconds. And she's like, do you want to have lunch? I was like, yeah, sure. Sure. And then the other lady, she was texting me like, I hope all is well. I hope you're having a good day. Good luck with your class. I'm like, these people really care? They don't even know me like that. Like, do they remember what I look like? And so after that, I went to I met up with Kaylin one of the days of the week. We ate lunch or whatever, and she was like, you should come to ENC. She's talking about the campus ministry. She was telling me a lot about the campus ministry, and I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I've been trying to search around, feel around for places, because Tuesday night I went to Fuse, and I was like, this ain't it, Chief. It was a lot of people. It was so many people. I was like, I'm gonna get lost in the crowd. Like, I can't be nowhere where I'm gonna get lost in the crowd. So she was like, we meet on Thursdays. Why don't you come out this Thursday? We having a free dinner for all first-time guests. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll come out. Okay. So then she's like, we really need some people on the praise team too. She was like, can you sing? I was like, I mean, I can sing, but like, I can't sing like that, She was like, well, we need some diversity in this praise team. We're just trying to get a lot of diversity. And I was like, I'm picking up what you're putting down, but like, I don't sing like that, I don't know. Like, she was like, well, you should think about it. I was like, I mean, I'll think about it, but I ain't making no guarantee. Then after that, we departed our ways, whatever. And then on Thursday, come Thursday, I'm like, okay, she said it's in Minden Hall. So I go to Minden Hall, and I ask people at the front desk, I'm like, I'm looking for a campus ministry, because I forgot the name, of course, I forgot the name, Brittany, blah, blah, blah. So I forgot the name, and they were like, oh, it's downstairs in the basement, you go, you see the signs, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going down there, and I see Crew. I'm like, did she say it was Crew? I don't know, Crew kind of sounds familiar, but like, yeah, it was Crew. Like, that's what you do. You know how you piece together something in your mind, but it's not really what you're trying to piece, but you think it's right. It's what you're trying to piece together. So I was like, yeah, it's Crew. That sounds really familiar. I remember. So I go and I open the door. They just starting praise and worship. I was early, so like they were just starting praise and worship, and I go in there, all heads turn. It's like, y'all never seen a first time visitor before, like, what's happening here? So I go and I sit kind of on the side ish, and everybody's still turning around looking at me. I'm like, I'm just trying to praise and worship God. I thought we was all here to do the same thing. Why y'all looking at me? And so after that, I sit there for a little bit, and there's no cell service down there. So I was like trying to text Kaylin, and it wasn't going through. I was like, is this the right place? I don't know if I'm in the right place or not. And somebody help me. I was like, I don't see you, please. And she was like, no, we're upstairs. I was like, what? And she was like, no, we're upstairs. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the wrong place. Okay. And so I get out of there, before they sit down, I'm like, let me go. Before they sit down, and then all eyes really would be on me. So I walked out, and then I went upstairs. Like, it was upstairs on the last floor upstairs. And I was like, oh, this is it. So I sit in the back, and it's like 10 minutes left in the whole thing. So afterwards, I found out they was giving out free t-shirts for freshmen and blah, 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 blah. And then they were like, okay, we got a free dinner. So she introduces me to a whole bunch of people. I can't remember everybody, but I know one specifically that night. She introduced me to Linda. And so Linda was like, hey, let's walk over to the place together. Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. So I was talking to Linda, and Linda was asking me, like, so how did you find us? Like, are you already a Christian? Like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah. So I started telling her kind of like my story in a vague-ish way. And I was like, my parents are both, like, they pastors and et cetera, but it's like, I chose this for me. Like, I'm a Christian for myself, It's, a lot of people think that Christianity is a chain thing. Like, if your parents do it, if your parents are Christians, you a Christian, your children gonna be a Christian. Like, the saying goes, God don't have any grandchildren. I recently just found out what that meant. Like, I just understood what that meant. It's like, if your parents are Christians, doesn't automatically mean that you are, So I'm like, at the end of the day, it's not going to be the Tinker family standing before God. It's going to be me. It's going to be with myself. And I'm like, yeah, I chose this lifestyle for me. Like, God has been good to me personally. Like, not only has he been good to my family, of course, yeah, but he's done so many things in my life. He's shown me himself so many times in my life. Like, it's like, how could I not serve him for myself? Like, it's like, for real though. Anyways, long story short, we go there and I sit down. Linda's introducing me to a lot of people too, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm probably never gonna see these people again in my life again. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm seeing your face, I know your name, but I'm not gonna remember it, so it don't really matter. So then Kaylin comes over and she's like, hey, you should meet these people over here, come over here, come on. And then I'm like, okay. So I get up, and then she's like, this is Karina, this is Angelita, this is Amanda, they're on the praise team. I'm like, she really trying to get me to sing on this praise team, bro. She like, yeah, she can sing, y'all. I'm like, she never heard me sing, and she putting me out like that. Like, what? So I'm like, yeah, I sing, So we all sit there and talk, blah, blah, blah. Little did I know, I'm like, I'm never gonna meet these people. I'm never gonna see these people again in my life. Like, so I can talk to them now, and I probably will forget what they look like tomorrow. But little thing, I didn't even know this was a thing. So I got plugged into a Connect group, and funny thing, Amanda, Karina, and Angelita were the freaking Connect group leaders. And I'm like, wow, like, that's how the Lord really works, because ended up being like they started being my mentors. They started like praying with me. Like I could just text them and be like, I need prayer for this because I'm going through, like, it's just like we begin to build a relationship, like, and we used to like read our Bible together, you know, pray, do the purple book. I go into that later, or if you know what that is and you know what it is, I can't really explain it, but we would just have one-on-ones. We would go for coffee, lunch, whatever, and just like talk around about it. And I'm like, these people are so genuine. Like, it's crazy. I don't know if I've ever met people that genuine in my entire life. It's like they have the best intentions for you, and they know what is best for you, and they want to help you get to that point, like in your spiritual journey. I'm like, your resources are really out there. If you want them, you can get them. Like, God is not going to chase us down, you know? Like, he gives us a free will for a reason. A free will to worship him, a free will to not. I truly am grateful for the people that God has placed in my life to speak into my life. Of course, you can read your Bible by yourself. You can ask God for understanding. Of course, you can do it in your secret place, but you need somebody there to like pour into you. You need to be able to have a pastor that is really like, you know, pouring into you, or just even a community that's pouring into you, building you up. Like, you have to be around people that are like-minded. Like, that's the thing that I like-minded people. Also, there's a couple of things during my freshman year journey. I went to the fall retreat. I made a whole bunch of friends there, and I'm like, wow, it's campus is all over, like State, Central, Chapel Hill, like Wilmington. I'm like, all these people are like-minded. They're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to focus on God and school at the same time. Like, I went to the conference that we usually have in Chantilly, which is coming up, and it's just been like really good to have a community around and be able to be with people who are like-minded. And I will say, like, last semester, which I'm a sophomore, so you know, that was like my first semester of sophomore year, I kind of got a little bit unplugged with it. So it was like I wasn't going that much anymore, or at all, to be honest. I was barely even going to the church anymore, because I would go like with my boyfriend every weekend. But and when you just unplug from your community, it was like I literally felt my life going into shambles. Like, it was just collapsing. I was like, okay, I don't need to do this. So this semester I was like making it my priority. I was like staying determined. I was like, I'm really going to I'm going to do my best to start going back to this campus ministry. I'm going to do my best to start going back to the church, get back plugged in with my connect groups and all this kind of stuff. Like, I just stopped having accountability. I stopped having people there to talk to. I mean, of course, they were still there if I needed them, and every so often I would text them, like, with a prayer request. Like, I just need you to pray for me. Like, this class is not doing good. But little did I know, the reason that stuff was like that was because I really wasn't trying to maintain my relationship with God. It was, like, slipping. And I was like, of course, I'm reading my Bible still by myself, but, like, you really need people to pour into you, and you really need people to be around you. So you're right. So yeah, my roommate just walked in here. But yeah, so that is my personal story of it. I'm just glad that I was able to even get that door open, because once God opens a door, you know, it's either up to you to keep your foot in it or to walk out. That was good. I don't know who that was for, but that was for somebody. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I love doing real talk videos, so you know, if you guys want any more topics, you can comment below. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. If you want to get a shout out, you better be active. But I do want to thank you guys for being such loyal subscribers. Like, subscribe, comment, and please turn on that bell notification so you can know when I post next. And I hope you guys have a great day. Okay, goodbye.